Hello DP community. If you're a Star Trek TNG fan, today's announcements might engage you. There are in fact two exciting things stirring, and one purpose of today's video is to explain how they impact each other. Firstly, this year is personally special because I can now attend to updating DP's classic Star Trek Antithesis edit. Honestly, I had thought I'd be doing that last year, but you may recall at the tail end of YOFE 2021, the community voted otherwise. Instead, it was Star Trek Regeneration that got the nod, and so that title received the first 10th anniversary HD update. Jump to 2023, and I reserved this spring as the time for Antithesis to finally get its scheduled HD update. And this is where things begin to get interesting. Midway into Picard Season 3, I saw the potential for a fifth TNG feature film. Tentatively titled Finality, Star Trek XI will function as the cast's proper farewell movie, with a running time in the neighborhood of 3.5 hours. The problem, though, is that 13 years ago I produced Antithesis to be a more fitting and proper farewell movie than was Nemesis. Remember, at that time there was never going to be another TNG anything. But now Picard has wrapped. The final episode is known. I can't have the final two movies in the DP verse sharing fan service and narrative lines. That DP verse now looks like this. It begins with Star Trek Regeneration, a replacement to Star Trek Generations. Star Trek First Contact and Star Trek Insurrection were never edited. Star Trek Antithesis is the replacement to Star Trek Nemesis. And this movie still is relevant today because Star Trek X really did kill off Data. Many years later, we have 2 seasons of a Star Trek Picard miniseries, both of which are conveniently shielded from Season 3, and depending on your tastes, can either be ignored entirely or approached in much the same manner that fans consumed the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. And lastly, Star Trek XI Finality, where the original TNG cast and its new extended family are brought together one last time to fight changelings, crush the Borg, and save Starfleet, blah, blah, blah. Now, the reason for unpacking all of this is to prepare you for the upcoming re-release of Star Trek Antithesis. The Star Trek XI production will be ongoing in the Patreon community, but Antithesis is old enough that many of you might be familiar with the work, and many of you might also want the HD update. And so please be informed that Star Trek Antithesis will not merely be re-released in HD this year. It's going to require a bit of re-editing. Specifically, I need to remove all the original closing fan service, but retain the movie's data tributes. In this way, Star Trek X, Antithesis, can dovetail naturally into Star Trek XI, and Star Trek XI won't seem to be echoing the previous movie. As for Star Trek XI, that project should be great fun. It's been a year since I tackled a new feature-length edit, and I'm eager to roll up the sleeves. We might finally hear what 7 of 9 says for her first captain directive. Feel free to monitor the DP Facebook and Patreon sites for general updates on these projects. There might also be updates posted to this channel's community board from time to time. Until next time, this is Antimatter.